What's going on there, YouTube? This is SCL0320 representing JVS. As you can see, the sword says it all. I'm talking about Sword Art Online, Ordinal Scale. I just got done watching it. It was freaking awesome. I'm gonna go into details why. Believe it or not, like I actually, what was it? Maybe I want to say 2 or 3 years ago, I had just started watching Sword Art Online. It came out around 2012. Didn't get into it then. But when I did, and it was raining on Netflix, Joe was watching it with me, and I was like, what is this, show about this one person that, from the perception of it, you're like, okay, you got these kids that are playing this game, it just looks like a normal game. But when the stakes get high, and you actually see that this is a life and death matter, this is survival of the fittest, this is Lord of the Flies meets Walking Dead meets a story extravaganza with the amazing graphics that only anime can actually showcase on a 2D scale. And that captivated me. For a lot of people, they say that Ironclad and versus Fairy Tale World, and then Gun Gale versus the arc with the Excalibur versus Mother Rosary. Like, there's a lot of inconsistencies. For me, I've always been gratified by Sword Art Online. I've always thought that each one of these characters were very unique and very special, and they had promise. Specifically, a lot of people are like on the fence with Kirito. People love Kirito because like he will always do what he has to do for his family, and then at the same time, a lot of people think he's OP. So for me, in my prospect and thinking about this, I really enjoyed seeing how with Kirito, how he gravitates to trying to win the game, to trying to stay out of situations, trying to alienate himself from people, from then wanting to really be this selfless hero, putting himself in danger for the betterment, and then he gravitates to Asuna, and then his life is transformed. That's, in a nutshell, is what the groundwork for Sword Art Online. At this point, this place in 2026, Akihiko Kaiba has been dead, I guess now for 4 years, and all the people that came out of Sword Art Online originally are out. But now there is this new game called Ordinal Scale, where basically instead of the NerveGear where you put yourself and you merge yourself into VR, it's called AR, where you're basically interactively acting in real life, but it's artificial environment that's around you, which is very fascinating. The way they actually did that and showcased the actual graphics behind that, I think that the visual scale of this is amazing. Another big trait about this film, and I talked to Joe about this a little bit, is its sound. We were just in a normal theater, and like when the boss fights happen and you're seeing the back and forth, like the sound is amazing. It sounds thrilling, but at the same time, it's like if you wanted to immerse yourself into a video game, you wanted to be able to feel like all the surround sound and the ambience around everything, because you don't know where danger is. And at the same time, I think that the way that they actually did the visuals for this, as far as the animation style, they took a long time. I see why it took so long for them to make the movie, because on this scale, like, I was like, wow, these are some amazing fights. Like, by the end of the film, people were cheering because like the stakes were so high. And that's the thing about this story. Normally I would talk about, the actors. The voice acting has always been amazing, but this movie, if you don't know, is only Japanese. So basically you will only get English subtitles. When the movie comes out on Blu-ray or HD or whenever, like then there'll be an English dub, but from what you see in the movie theaters, it's only going to be, just a Japanese dialect. And so if you are not privy to wanting to do, English dubbing, that might be a turnoff for you, but you will be missing something grand in the sense of this this story, because I thought that after they went to Gun Gale, the new game, and there were some stakes here or there, and you saw people dying here or there. It's like it kind of felt a little bit, but then there were no real stakes like, okay, if you die in the game, you die in real life kind of stakes. In this movie, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but there are real stakes, and it's not what you think. Like, I knew something was wrong when you got this new character calling himself, spelled E-G-I-R-I, which is, I don't know how to actually pronounce that. And then you got this AI in Yuna. Yuna is actually this AI that her whole platform is just to be able to sing. And this other guy, his whole platform is to be number 2 and he just kind of sweeps house. Like when I sit there and watch him, when he came onto the scene, I was like, man, that's how Kirito used to be, you know? And he was just dusting fools off. But Kirito in this story, like, he's just smitten. Like, he loves Asuna. He's ready to move things to the next level. He could care less about the game. Like, when he goes, he's content with his world in Ironcrad in VR. He doesn't care about this AR system. Everybody's on this fad because now, you know, anywhere you want to go, you can be able to get yourself immersed into the game. But Kirito does not care in this sense. And so it's like Kirito, for the first time, like, he's, you know, the weakest link in a lot of different ways. And it's very interesting to see that dynamic shift between this new person and Kirito. And of course they're going to butt heads at a certain point in this film, but where the villain lies and where the threat lies, I think that that is the very epic part of the immersion of this, is the fact that the person that's most addicted to games and most thrilling and the best at games is the person that's detracted from this. And at the same time, he's so focused on wanting to be with, you know, his woman, and his woman, she just is enjoying the game and enjoying life, enjoying him, and she wants to progress things with him, of course, but at the same time, she doesn't want to lose sight of who she is and what she knows that she's capable of, you know. And it is really an intersection that happens, and when it happens, you will feel the weight behind it. Like, I at a certain point, when I saw this one character, you know, bite it, or I saw this other character get put in this terrible situation, I was just like, that is the weight that I've missed from the original arc. And I think I couldn't ask for anything more than that. And I think that the furthest of the story when it comes to the character Yuna and SAO as a grand and where things kind of left behind, you never think about, you know, within SAO, all the people that really did die. I think it was close to 4,000. It was like 12,000 that went in. And it's like, what happened to those lives? You know, what happened to the families of those people? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can they continue making games like this and people kind of profit off of it and do what they can? And, you know, all those lives that were kind of lost, like, what happened to those kind of people? And I think that the internalization behind that and how it made me feel, I was like, that is awesome, because it brings a culmination of everything full circle. But at the same time, if you've never seen Sword Art Online, you will be thoroughly entertained by this, because they really kind of show everything that you kind of miss. They really kind of show it in a really good way. And I think that this was an awesome film. I'll give Sword Art Online Ordinal Scale, for me, I'm in between an 8.5 and a 9 out of 10. I thought that this was a very great compliment to the franchise. Aniplex did a great job with this. I want to know as soon as it's going to be released on Blu-ray. Why did you have this for one night? Like, at least give us other nights, because this needs to be, you know, available. Like, they can make some serious money behind this instead of just keeping it on one day. That's just my personal opinion. And I think that there's people that doubted Sword Art Online, and I think that based on the callbacks, based on the people that show up in this one, based on the situations that happen, based on the things that you remember, the great things about Sword Art Online are showcased in this film. And the things that you remember that you're familiar with, if you were a long-time person, you're gonna love, because the amplification for the graphics, the sound design, the story, the thrill, it's all there. And the love. The love is the key, and that's all I'm gonna say. It's some craziness that goes down. Hopefully you enjoyed this review. Keep it locked. JVS, we ain't gonna stop. Sword Art Online, thank you.